Good Friday evening, Southeast Texas. Thanks so much for visiting 12 News Plus, and we're going to take a quick look at the next 15 minutes at your forecast, an in-depth look at your forecast over the next 7 days. First off, looking at thunder showers off towards the north over into Hardin County. This view courtesy of Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Skycam network. So the bottom line is rain chances going south as we head through the weekend. 20 to 30% coverage across the area tomorrow, and it looked like only isolated. That's a 10% coverage coming up on Sunday. And then high pressure building over the region will really put a lid on the atmosphere. In other words, it's going to get hot, humid, mostly sunny and dry coming up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The high then will move off into the Midwest, and that will drag a disturbance in moisture, tropical moisture, and a surge of moisture into our area as we head towards Thursday and Friday of next week. And again, we may be doing this all over again, hopefully not, as we head towards, say, Thursday and Friday. Right now, it looks like at that time, the shear will be higher than it was this time. So certainly looking like a pretty good chance of rain and thunderstorm activity coming up late next week. And there you go. With the high building over our area, we think even here in the Triangle, we could get in the mid-90s coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday across Southeast Texas. Now, you can add 2 or 3 degrees on top of that up in the lakes areas. That'll give you an idea, maybe 96 to 98 up in the lakes area, and then temperatures coming down as we head towards next Friday. So tomorrow here in the Triangle, we'll go 91 and about a 20% coverage of shower and thunderstorm activity. Modeling continues to look pretty good. I like what I saw. And the only thing is that we're going to go much warmer than this. I think it will be much warmer than this, closer to maybe 77 or 78 in the morning here in the Triangle. And we'll see generally 20% coverage. Up in the lakes area, about a 30% coverage. We'll go 92. And these are going to be mainly afternoon shower and thunderstorm activity. I think, yeah, modeling too dry, and it's too cool up there, as usually is. We'll go with about 92 up in the lakes and about a 30% coverage. So right now, the main disturbance that brought us the rains this morning has moved well off to the north. So we've got leftover clouds, and those clouds are thinning across the area. So we're getting a little bit of sun and destabilizing the atmosphere in spots. And that's why you're seeing redevelopment late this afternoon and this evening across Southeast Texas. Rain cooling over into Beaumont, as you can see, at least at the airport. And again, not a big chance, but still some widely scattered thunder showers this evening. But the big story is that we only saw 2 1/4 inches of rainfall or less across our area. We were forecasting 1 to 2, maybe 3s, and that's pretty much what ended up. As you can see, very little over into southwest Jefferson County. The heaviest activity was up into Newton County and mainly off towards the east over Louisiana. So again, those rain chances will be continuing to go down as we head through the weekend. A little closer inspection shows some thunder showers, High Island heading over towards Sea Rim and McFadden Beach. Otherwise, some weakening thunder showers over towards Lumberton and just south of Buna. Looks like the activity has moved just east of Evadale. Some thunder showers increasing in, let's say, Tyler County between Warren back over towards Woodville to the southwest of Spurger and Danby at this time. So again, it's 6:33 now. We'll see these gradually wind down as the sun continues to set close to about 8:17, I think, this evening. So across the state, it's all about East Texas and northern Louisiana. You can see it's hot, dusty, and dry back over into west and northwest Texas. But this activity, just because of that disturbance, is heading on off towards the north. And again, I've highlighted the really deep tropical moisture associated with that tropical disturbance. And as you can see, it's beginning to move out of the picture. So we expect further drying as we head on into the weekend. And that will likely taper off our rain chances altogether by Sunday, if as not, then coming up on Monday as high pressure builds on in. So tonight, some widely scattered evening thunder showers are possible for the next hour and a half or so. And tomorrow morning may end up only in the mid-70s in the lakes area for lows, and here in the Triangle closer to 80 degrees tomorrow morning. And again, may see some early morning nocturnal showers prior to daybreak along the coastline. But again, 20-30% coverage across the area. We get into the lower 90s, as you can see. But again, looks like the atmosphere will be further drying coming up tomorrow afternoon in the mid-atmosphere, so that will continue to lower our rain chances. Lots of green, and it's way up the scale, so we've got lots to work with, and that's why we saw good coverage of rain this morning. We got that 80% coverage, but again, as we head on through tonight and tomorrow, look at the drying, look at the brown air, or the brown colorization. That's drier air filtering on into our area through the day on Saturday. So rain chances won't be zero, but they'll be certainly much less prevalent than what we saw this morning. And then as we work into the first half of next week, high pressure will build over Louisiana and close enough to us to give us high temperatures into the mid-90s across southeast Texas. So again, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, boy, if you're painting a house or putting on a roof, this is the time to do it because the high will be over us, and that means no rain in the forecast. How about that? Now remember, high pressure, the flow is in a clockwise manner, okay? So anything off to the east will be dragged in. Case in point, we'll put this into motion. The high moves off towards our north and east over towards Memphis. And again, the flow will be dragging anything in towards the west. And about that time, we will have what we call an inverted trough. Remember, a normal trough kind of looks like a U. That's what brings cold fronts. Well, this is just an opposite, an upside down low, or an upside down trough of low pressure. So this trough, and look at the surge of moisture way up the scale. This is deep tropical moisture. Will be headed towards Texas and Louisiana as we head towards Friday late. So that usually will give us a pretty good chance of rain as we head on into late next week. Right now, we're only going to go at a 40% coverage, but typically this brings us a lot more than what we have forecast at this time. I want to see a couple more runs before I start really going crazy on rain chances 7 days out. So as we take a look at the moisture in the atmosphere, this is a depiction of how much is in the atmosphere. So the more you have, usually, but not always, but usually, that means that you can have better chances of rain and thunderstorm activity. So now we've got quite a bit. See the yellow? That is pretty high for atmospheric moisture. That's what we have right now. But notice as we head through the day, still have a good amount on Saturday, Sunday. Notice how it goes really low. So we're talking pretty dry. These are the numbers that I use every day. So these numbers are coming down as you go down the scale, and that means low chances, if not zero, as we head towards Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, as we work on into Thursday and Friday, look how the moisture goes up. I think Friday will be a lot more than what you see here, but this is going to be true tropical moisture certainly by Thursday. Look at that. That is a lot of moisture, kind of like what we saw this morning. So that will return to our area coming up on Thursday, and I think on Friday too. So basically this will mirror, your rain chances will basically mirror the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, something like that. That's what your rain chances are going to look like, to where they're almost zero here coming up Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and a slight chance coming up on Saturday, and the rain chances going up as we head towards Thursday and Friday. So that's why we track moisture, because when you have moisture in the atmosphere, you can create shower and thunderstorm activity. If it's too dry in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, then it's tough to make clouds like what we're going to see Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. The atmosphere dries out, so because of that high sinking air and dry air in the mid-levels, that's why we will not see much in the way of cloud cover. You need clouds to create shower and thunderstorm activity. That's why we track moisture, and that's why we're going to see a much better chance as we head towards Thursday and Friday of next week. On the Gulf tomorrow, not bad. Looking at slightly choppy seas around 2 feet and a southwest wind at 10 knots. High tide tomorrow morning at 9:05 a.m. at Sabine Pass, and the water temperature very warm at 91 degrees. If you're headed up to the lake, and boy, I wish I was. Let's see if we have any questions. And nobody has any questions for us. Okay, I'm getting off easy tonight. Otherwise, tomorrow on San Rayburn, looking at maybe a 30% coverage of showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny skies. Those 30% coverage will probably be after 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Highs will be in the lower 90s. We want 92, and you'll see a light south to southwest wind at 3 to 8 miles an hour. So this evening, a 20 to 30% coverage till about 8 o'clock, and then we'll take it on down and take the chances of rain out of the picture. So we'll go 75 or so up in the lakes area and in the mid to upper 70s and lower 80s here in the triangle as the winds go calm. We may see some decrease in cloud cover as we head towards after about 3 a.m. from what I saw. Some of the clouds could be thinning out. Otherwise, it's going to be very humid overnight. Tomorrow, the rain chances about a 20 to 30% coverage. And again, there's still lots of moisture in the atmosphere. So the heaviest cells may drop an inch of rainfall tomorrow, but your chances are low. So if you're working on the house tomorrow, I think tomorrow will be a conducive day to doing that. Highs will be in the lower 90s. Just make sure you keep hydrated. Heat indices will be around 100 here in southeast Texas, and that UV index will be extreme at 11.4. So use that sunscreen, and we'll see light south to southwest winds. And there's your forecast. About 92 up in the lakes, maybe 93. About 91, 92 here in the triangle. Again, partly sunny skies. Well, what does partly sunny mean? Well, if you know what partly cloudy skies are, and you know what mostly cloudy skies are, so it's kind of in between. So you got partly cloudy, partly sunny, mostly cloudy. We're not quite mostly cloudy. We're not quite partly cloudy. So partly sunny is what we're going with. There'll be quite a bit of cloud cover tomorrow, but we'll certainly see a lot more peaks of sun than we did today. Light south to southwest winds are expected. So heat indices, as I showed, about 101, 102 coming up across the area. Taking a look at your weather impact 7-day forecast, again, pretty close to what we were showing earlier. We'll go with a 20 to 30% coverage for Saturday, Sunday at 10% coverage, and then with that high building in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, those high temperatures will really start cranking up, and then the rain chances, we elected to go fairly conservative this far out. We want to see some more model data, but usually if that trough does move on in, the amount of moisture that we're seeing, that tropical surge, and we'll see a lot more rain than what I have here. Otherwise, as far as rainfall amounts, this model was a little bit overdone for yesterday and today. It usually does pretty good, though. This is through Wednesday. Maybe a 1/10 of an inch. So that is what? Saturday, Sunday. That's 5 days. Okay, we should be picking up very close to a 1/4 of an inch each day. So we are much below normal right on through midweek. We should be picking up, I think, 2,300s. We'll go with a 1/4. So 5 days, just let's say 1.15 inches is what we're supposed to pick up over the next 5 days. So we can, as you can see, much below normal rainfall coming up the next 5 days. However, with that plume of moisture, that surge of tropical moisture moving on in, we took this out till Friday and still below normal. But I have a feeling this model is going to catch up, and we'll see these rain chances or the rainfall amount certainly go up. Typically, we see inches of rain with this kind of tropical moisture that moves on in. So that's your 7-day weather impact forecast, and we will review very quickly. The bottom line is that rain chances are going to be going down across the area through the weekend. May not see much coming up on Sunday. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday look hot, humid, and dry, and it looks like scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast as we head towards Thursday and Friday. Again, here in Beaumont, 94 to 95 Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, closer to 96, 97, 98 in the lakes area. And tomorrow, again, about a 20% coverage here in the triangle. For the lakes area, we'll go with a 30% coverage with highs in the lower 90s. And again, a quick review of radar showing the scattered showers and thunderstorms, widely scattered thunder showers across the coastline and up into mainly into southern Newton, Jasper County and southern sections.